They say misery loves company, and college football loves triggering. Here we are back with part 2 of my Triggering Every College Football Fan Base, where today we will cover the Pac-12 and the Big Ten Conference. Everyone loves this until we get to your team, and if you don't have a dog in this fight, sit back and relax. It's time to flame away.
Hey, listen, Ohio State sucks.
Versus playing all year for nothing. FanDuel, win that cheddar today. So if this is your first time to this type of video, here are the rules. Each team gets 3 punches to the gut and we move on. Be sure to comment all the obscure or blatant moments I forgot, and most importantly, like and share the vid to others who deserve the hate. Sharing failure is caring. As I said before, this is part 2 and the Pac-12 and Big Ten are featured. The Big 12 and ACC went already and the SEC gets it next. And non-Power 5 fans, there will be a cleanup video to include any others I missed. Let's get started on the Pac-12. Oregon, Chip Kelly leaving for the NFL after allegations of recruiting violations should leave you salty. He ran out there faster than a politician in a whorehouse. The huge Joey Harrington billboard foretold late season failure. Those unis are fire, but you're choking, isn't it? And how about losing to Boise State and then LeGarrette Blount throwing a punch? That was some Bush League shit right there. Oregon State, you will always be second fiddle to Oregon. The 2001 Civil War, where a punt cost you the game on a non-call. And again, the Civil War in 2008 got smoked by Oregon 65-38 and lost out on a trip to the Rose Bowl. Colorado haven't been relevant since Cordell Stewart was there. You forfeiting wins due to an eligible player in the Rick Neuheisel era. You won a game due to an extra down versus Mizzou, but then Bill McCartney just complained about the field conditions afterwards instead of acknowledging the extra down. Cal, 2007, losing to Oregon State after being ranked number 2 and then winning only one more game the rest of the year has to hurt. Marshawn Lynch left you high and dry and skipped his senior season for the NFL, and so did Aaron after you got snubbed for the Rose Bowl and lost the Holiday Bowl to Texas Tech 45-32. Utah.
What is a Ute?
Urban Meyer left you like a dead body on Mount Everest, getting smoked by ASU 37-7 in 2012 when you thought you were decent. Hardline is open ought to trigger you as you blew a 24-14 lead to BYU. Arizona State University, even with Jake the Snake, you lost the Rose Bowl in 1997 to the Buckeyes 20-17. Arizona native Brett Hudley turning you down and then leading UCLA down the field in 2012, crushing your Pac-12 championship dreams. The 1996 Glenn Gable clip that resulted in a brawl that got really ugly really fast. Arizona burning no 200 into the ASU field in 1958 in an effort to keep them from becoming a state university. That is low class. The ultimatum game in which again you tried to screw over ASU but then got smoked in the game 30-7 in Tucson. And though it didn't involve you directly, UCLA blowing a game in Miami which ended up screwing up your Rose Bowl bid. Y'all crazy as hell in Tucson. Holy shit. UW. Rick Neuheisel overlooking bad behavior from his team and then playing in a high-stakes NCAA pool that got him fired. Jake Locker scoring a TD with 2 seconds left versus BYU in 2008 and then getting called for unsportsmanlike conduct and then missing the extra point to cost you the game. Oh, and that year, you were 0-12. Wazoo. In the 2003 Rose Bowl, you got ripped by Oklahoma 34-14. You got thrashed 66-3 by Cal in 2008. And from 2004 to 2015, you have a bowl winless streak, which is pretty hard to do when every shit team in the country seems to be bowl eligible. Stanford, with your academic standards and search for well-rounded athletes, the only way to be successful is to have a huge nerd QB who loves Stanford play for you. And then he throws this INT that allowed Cal fans to rush the field in Stanford in 2009. In the 2012 Fiesta Bowl, you had a chip shot to win it versus Oregon State, and it went wide left. And Jim Harbaugh was like, thanks for the stepping stone, I'm off to San Francisco. Oh wait, I'm off to Michigan. UCLA, as I mentioned earlier, getting smoked by Miami in 1998 hurt bad. That whole Jim Mora Jr. thing worked out well for you, didn't it? And this one hurts. In 2008, BYU 59, UCLA 0. And of course, USC. Vacating all those wins when Reggie Bush took all that money. Yeah, thanks for messing up history and shit. And then Vince Young beating you anyways in the 2005 Rose Bowl with him running for 2 TDs in the last 4 minutes. The Lane Kiffin disaster looked worse than a neighborhood your school is located in. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. And now on to the Big Ten, or is it just the big conference or what? It has 14 teams. Nebraska, the Bo Pelini era was terrible, which included this leaked audio.
The whole world hero, Tom Chattel, fuck him too. Fuck him. That's what I'm going to tell him.
You haven't been good since Tom Osborne and those stacked teams left. And speaking of Tom Osborne, going for 2 in the 1984 Orange Bowl and not getting it hurt. Indiana, stick to basketball, 1 Rose Bowl appearance in your entire existence. Losing painfully to Iowa in 2009. It's been since 1991 when you last won a bowl game. The Gobi Desert has seen less drought. Rutgers, 1 big win in the last 200 years over shitty-ass Louisville. Why are you even in this conference? I guess every house needs a doormat. The only time you make national news is when a shamed radio host makes racist remarks about your women's basketball team. Minnesota. It's so damn cold at your school, you need tunnels to get to class to avoid frostbite. That's really not a dig on your football team, but fuck cold weather in general. You were beating Texas Tech 38-7 in the 3rd quarter, and then they roared back and beat you 44-41 in OT. And Glenn Mason got fired over that L. Maryland, irrelevant since Fatboy Friedgen left, and the way he was pushed out was Bush League. The painful smoking by Florida in the 2001 Orange Bowl. You have played in all second-tier bowl games since 2003, scraping by for eligibility every year. Michigan State, the 1966 game of the century between undefeated MSU and undefeated Notre Dame, ended in an unfulfilling tie. Got smoked by Alabama January 1st, 2011, 49-7. And even Nick Saban couldn't make you decent. He coached you from 1995 to 1999, and as soon as he made you relevant, he pulled out of you faster than a divorcee on his first Tinder date to leave you for LSU. Illinois, why do you have a football team? You were 0-11 in 1997. In the 2008 Rose Bowl, a rarity for you to attend, you got routed by USC 49-17. You have now had 5 straight losing seasons. Iowa, you admittedly copied the uniforms from the Steelers, and that's all I got really. Iowa is that boring. Lost 5 straight bowl games, including the Tax Slayer Bowl. Wow, top billing, guys. And you lost to Northwestern in 2009 after starting 8-0. Northwestern. Purdue, in the 2000 Outback Bowl, you were up 25 at half over Georgia, and you blew it. Blew it bad. Missed 3 field goals and an extra point. Lost it in OT. That's a gut punch right there. Drew Brees couldn't even make you a 10-win team. And in 2004, you led Wisconsin 17-7 with 5:29 to go in the 4th, and Kyle Orton did this. Northwestern, you are a drama school. Like, it's one thing to be known for basketball or even lacrosse, but acting? In 1981, you lost your 29th straight game and your students rushed the field. I guess they do teach irony in drama school. And Gary Barnett made you decent and then left you as soon as a school that cares about football called. Wisconsin, in 1998, you had a chance to win the national championship but lost to Michigan 27-10 and made your bed look like a fudge factory. On occasion, your athletic director, Barry Alvarez, has to come down to the sidelines to sort shit out like a parent between 2 quibbling kids. And of course, this year, after a schedule softer than a memory foam mattress, you got exposed against Ohio State and allowed those dickheads from Alabama to get in the college football championship. Great job, guys. Michigan, in 2007, you were ranked number 5 and had a home game against a nice cupcake named Appalachian State, an FCS team. And of course, it came all down to this. And you had to pay them like $2 million for that. Rich fraud shamming you out of millions of dollars to not even be competitive in the Big Ten. That should trigger you. And the punt. You knew it was coming. You knew. Get it out. OSU. Jim Tressel and the whole tattoo thing, which is bullshit, but Tressel was a do-it-the-right-way guy to the media, and the whole sweater vest thing is just a bad look. And in 2006, things started off well against the Gators, then didn't well as you got trashed. Losing to MSU in that Big Ten championship game in 2013, way to go, Herb. especially after that whole PR campaign to put you in the big show, saying you didn't play a soft schedule. You got exposed like a Hollywood casting director. Penn State. I told everyone in the last video that you would get it pretty hard from me, and I will hold true to that. However, the child abuse scandal for me is off limits. It's more appropriate to let the victims heal and let the punishment for the previous administration's tone-deaf handling of the situation play out. Penn State's fans didn't molest kids. It's not fair to have you thrown into that. But who I do want to throw under the bus is your beloved son, Joe Paterno, who, though idolized in Happy Valley, was a real asshole. Especially the way he handled the end of his career and pretty much saying, "I'll quit when I die," which is what he did well after he had lost his coaching chops. And why even remove his statue? If you loved him and his bullshit so much, just keep the fucking thing. As far as on-field hurt, the loss to Michigan when 2 seconds were put back on the clock and Chad Henne used those extra 2 seconds to do this. And of course, my favorite highlight in the history of ever is Joe Paterno running across the field to let out explosive diarrhea during live play. If that's not a literal example of shitting yourself, then I don't know what is. So there you have it, triggering the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. Of course, you know the SEC is next, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and share this video with a fellow fan or rival. You know how much fun spreading a little shade is. And don't forget to download the FanDuel app and use my code Touchdown87 and get an absolutely free entry into the Sunday Millions contest, a $7 value for free with your first deposit. Be on the lookout for part 3, and as always, I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to the end of this video.
There's Jesus, there's girls, and there's Marcus Mariota,